again. I feel like I was just here now doing the same notes a few minutes ago. But now we are on 312. 312. Last day. Now today I'm going to teach you something that makes you wish you had the T-I inspire. I can't spell inspire. I think they spell it actually like this. Inspire. Calculator. If you go to our website at NK Infinity, Newman, Krause, infinity.com, there's directions on how to get the calculator from Amazon for the cheapest it is. I know it's $120 something, but it is very, very nice and will last you for a very long time. You can also get for just like $27 the computer emulator, so it looks something like this. It would look like this on your computer, and you can use it just like normal, just like this. But you have to have a computer available, and you can't use Chromebooks because right now it's not available for Chromebooks. But anyway, let's get started. This is day 12. My name is going to be, for the next few minutes, Mr. Key instead of Mr. Krause. Now, I just realized, and I probably should have known this earlier, my partner in crime does these a little bit differently than I do. So I might be making a method called the elimination method video, but not right now. I don't have plans for doing that right now. But we're going to solve, this is just a review of like day, I don't even remember, some earlier day when we did systems of three equations. We're just going to review this. So if you remember, I said solve one of them for a variable, and this is probably the easiest one. We're going to solve this one for x. So I can get that one to say x equals negative 4y minus z plus 12. I just brought these two things over there. Now I'm going to sub it in to both of these equations. So I'm going to do 2 parentheses, and I'll come back for that, plus 3y minus z equals 5, and I'm plugging that in there. And then the other one is, well, let's just plug that in. What do you get? Let's see, it's negative 4y minus z plus 12. All right, let's clean all this up. This is negative 8y minus 2z plus 24 plus 3y minus z equals 5. Let's keep cleaning that up. How many y's we got? We got negative 5y minus 3z. And if I bring this 24 over to the other side, I get equals negative 19. That's a 24. Negative 19. So there's my first equation I'm going to use. Now I'm going to plug it in that second one. So we're going to do 4 times minus y minus z equals negative 1. And we're going to plug this in. And we'll use green because it's ugly. What did we say that was? Negative 4y minus z plus 12. All right, let's clean this one up. So negative 16y minus 4z plus, when I show you the calculator to do this, you're going to be like, whoa, what? 48. Remember, you still got to show all the work. The calculator is just going to give you to tell you where your answers are and what you got to do. So minus y minus z equals negative 1. So let's see. We've got negative 17y minus 5z. And when I bring this 48 over, minus 48, I get equals negative 49. So I have now my two equations. I'm going to work with just these two equations, which is not going to be nice. So let's see what we got. Negative 5y minus 3z equals negative 19. Negative 17y minus 5z equals negative 49. All right. Now, I like to just switch the first two numbers. Those numbers are ginormous, but it really doesn't matter. The calculator does all the work for us, so who cares? I'm going to put a 17 here and a 5 here. Now, if I multiply these, I get negative. If I multiply these, I get negative. So I want to make sure one of them is positive, and I usually like the first one to be positive. So I'm going to put negative 17 there. So negative 17 times 5, that's positive 80, forgot the 5, 85y. Plus 51z equals, and I have no idea, 17 times 19, 323. And I think it actually is positive because they're both negative, so positive 323. Positive negative 85y minus 25z equals, and then 5 times 49, 5 times 49, negative 245. Man, I hope this works out, because otherwise I screwed something up. Kabam, kabam. So let's see, 51 minus 25, 26. So we get 26z equals, and then 323 minus 245 equals 78. Divide by 26. Divide by 26. And I get z equals 3. Yay! We are almost done. That's all the hard part, sort of. So I'm going to come back up here to, one of these equations. Let's just use this equation. We're going to figure out what y is. So negative 5y minus 3 times 3, because that's z, right? We're just going to plug in the 3 for z, equals negative 19. So this is negative 5y minus 9 equals negative 19. We're going to add 9. Add 9, I get negative 5y equals negative 10. Divide by negative 5, and I get y equals 2. Now we're going to take both of these, and where do we solve for x? And we're going to plug them in where we solve for x. And that one down there, whoosh, plug it in for z. So we know that x is equal to negative 4y minus z plus 12. So x is equal to negative 4 times 2 minus 3 plus 12. So x is equal to, that's right behind my head, isn't it? I apologize. I'll have to check that, make sure I move my head. Minus 8 minus 3 plus 12. X is equal to 1. So my answers for x, y, and z is 1, 2, 3. Wow, that wasn't bad. There is a feature on the TI Inspire. I don't believe it is on any of the other calculators, but it is on the TI Inspire. It's called, I think it's called, Linear Solver. We can just use that. You can use matrices, but we're just going to use this feature called the Linear Solver. So if you go to your calculator, now if you don't have this calculator, I apologize. You're going to be a little upset when I go through this. But for those of you that do have this calculator, if you don't have this calculator, the only way to check your answers is to plug them all back in and see that you got them right. And if you didn't get them right, then you got to go back and find your work. This way will tell you very quickly whether or not you have the right answers. So we'll go to Menu, Algebra, and Solve Linear Equations. Now we've got 3 equations. Now as soon as you do that, it's going to tell you, okay, your variables are going to be x, y, and z. Now if in the problem they're using a, b, and c, they're using a, b, and c, whatever. I think you can probably change them, but just leave them a, x, y, z. It doesn't matter. Click OK. So now it says, okay, what are your equations? My equations are 2x plus 3y minus z equals 5. And my second equation, I know someone's going to be mad about this. 4x minus y minus z equals, now I got to be careful with this -1. Make sure I put -1, not minus. And then x plus 4y plus z equals 12. And there's your answers, 1, 2, 3. Don't get mad at me. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, you still need to be able to go through and do all of this work. I mean, just having those answers on a 6-point question, and yes, this would be a 6-point question, gives you 1 point. That's a 16%. Not really going to help you out very much. So you still need to know how to do this work. All right, children, let's do another one. So find the equation. Oh, I better stop for a second. I'll be right back. Dunkin' Donuts K-Cups. Great for morning work with your besties in New York State. Oh my God, nailed that commercial again. Whatever. Got no sponsorship. I don't care. It's okay. I'm good. Anyway, here we go. I want to write the equation in standard form for this. You notice this is the parabola, right? And parabolas go through lots and lots of points. They can be uniquely defined by 3 points. Or relatively uniquely defined by 3 points. So our parabola is going to go through those 3 points. So we're going to use those 3 points and this equation to find that unique parabola. So we'll just get started, because that's what we do. The first point is -1, -3. Now, I shouldn't have to tell you this is x and this is y. So when I plug in, we're not plugging in for a, b, and c. We're plugging in for x and y, okay? So let's do this. Y is -3 is equal to a times -1 squared plus b times -1 plus c. So again, the y goes in for y, and then the x, these are x's. All right, let me clean this up. I get -3 equals, now -1 squared is just 1, so that's just a minus b plus c. So there's equation 1. Let's pick a different color. Next color is going to be this. Oh, 0, -4. That's going to be really, really nice. You'll see in a second why. So in for y goes -4, and in for x goes 0. So this is a times 0 squared plus b times 0 plus c. Well, that's 0 and that's 0. That means that -4 has to be equal to c. We're just going to end up plugging that thing in there. And finally, let me get this last equation. We'll do this in this ugly color, orange. Orange is not my favorite color. It is, however, my twin brother's favorite color, because he's a little goofy. All right, 2, 6. So in for y goes 6. A times 2 squared plus b times 2 plus c. Transform that equation. So that 6 is equal to 4a plus 2b plus c plus 2b plus c. But again, I already know what c is, so we're going to plug that in. So let's plug it in. Let's go. All right, let's go. Let's get ready to rock and roll. We're going to plug that baby in. Let's see. We get -3 equals a minus b. And again, I don't know why I did that. I was doing that offline. Let's see. We know what this is, right? So we're going to plug in -4 in there, so it just goes -4. Then we're going to do 6 equals 4a plus 2b minus 4. All right, well, we still got to get that 4 over there, so let's move those 4s over. We're going to add 4, and then add 4, and we'll add 4, and we'll add 4. Now, I like having the numbers on the right, so when I move these or I change these, I'm going to say, okay, a minus b is equal to 1, because that's 1. Okay, that's a 4. Stop yelling at me. And then 4a plus 2b is equal to 10. Okay. Now I think if you're honest, or if you're following along, if I just multiply this first equation by -4, this will give me -4a, which would be the opposite of this. And remember, that's what we're looking for. So that's all we got to do. So I get -4a plus 4b equals -4. 4a plus 2b equals 10. These cancel, which is what we want. That's elimination. And I get 6b equals 6, or b equals 1. So now I know b and c. So now I can figure out what a is. And it doesn't matter which equation we use. I'll just use this first one. So -3 is equal to a minus b plus c. And I got to plug in what I know. I know that b is 1, and c is, what did we say c was? C was -4, right? So -3 is equal to a minus 1 minus 4. So -3 is equal to a minus 5. I add 5 to both sides, and I get 2 is equal to a. So now it looks like a, b, c is equal to 2, 1, -4. All right, let's see. I'm going to do this 2 ways now, using this calculator. Now there's a way to check this thing using your calculator. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. I'm going to use the same linear solver. I'm going to go to Menu, Algebra, Linear Solver, 3 equations. I could use X, Y, and Z. I'm going to say I'm using A, B, and C. Pretty sure it's not going to have a problem with that. I haven't done that in a while. Oh, look, it doesn't matter. All right, so let's write those equations. Where were my equations? Let me get my equations up here for me. Here are my 3 equations right here. Let me try to get rid of some of this extra stuff. So here are my 3 equations. Let me highlight them for you. Not in blue, do yellow. This one, and this one are my 3 equations. So that's a little weird. How am I going to get those in there? They're not showing up. Okay, so in this case, it's going to be -3. You got to be careful with the negative. -3 equals a minus b plus c. A minus b plus c. Ka-jam. And then this next one is going to be simply just -4 equals c. That's all that one is. And the last one is going to be, what did we come up with? 6 equals 4a plus 2b plus 2b plus c. Now checking these, this isn't my favorite way to check these, but this is a nice little method to solve it. Boom, I hit enter and I get 2, -1, 4, and I believe those are the answers we came up with, right? 2, 1, -4. 2, 1, -4. Those are the answers I came up with. Fantastic. There is another way to very simply do it, and this one you can do on the TI-84. You just go into graph mode, and you say, okay, I don't know why that's there. We'll just doc B that, baby. Doc B, gone. Go into graph mode, and just type it in. Now, if A... Oh, by the way, I'm not done yet. I still haven't given the answer. I just realized I didn't give the answer, and this is a nice way to know that I didn't give it. I still have, because the question says, write the quadratic in standard form. So we're going to do it like this. Y equals, now it's ax squared. I'll just write this down. Ax squared plus bx plus c. So A, B, and c. So my final answer to this question is 1x squared, or just x squared, plus Excuse me. A is 2. So that's 2x squared plus 1x, or just x, and then minus 4. I put a 1 here, I put a 2 here, and I put a negative 4 here. Well, the easiest way to check this is just to type that in. 2x squared plus x minus 4. And hit graph. Oh, where am I going to find those points that I was given? Oh, yeah, I can just go to the table, Control T. Now, the 3 points I was given were -1, -3. That better be on there. There it is, -1, -3. 0, -4, there it is, right there. And 2, 6, there it is. So that's actually the fastest way to check your answer. Just graph it, look at the table, and verify that those 3 points are indeed on there. It's the simplest way. All right, I think we're getting a little bit more practice. All right, so now that you get the idea, let's get rocking and rolling. We're going to use first point, which is -1, -1. And those go in for x and y. So -1 equals a. Remember, they go in for x and y, not a, b, and c. -1 squared plus b times -1 plus c. This is -1 equals, now -1 squared is 1, so that's just a minus b plus c. So there's our first equation. This one's a little bit more, actually a lot more difficult than the last one, so pay attention. We're going to use 111, a different color. 111. So 11 goes in for a, 1 goes in for x, 11 goes in for y, 1 goes in for x. Almost did it myself. B times 1 plus c. So this is 11 equals a plus b plus c. And our last one is 3, 7. So 7 is equal to a times 3 squared plus b times 3 plus c, which gives us 7 equals 9a plus 3b plus c. So there's our 3 equations. I'm probably going to solve this one for a. It really doesn't matter, but let's just solve this one for a. So since I'm working with blue, I'll go, okay, -1 is equal to a minus b plus c. So if I add b and subtract c, add b and subtract c, I get -1 plus b minus c is equal to a. So this is a. So that gets substituted in for a. All right, let's do the red one. So the red one says take 11 equals a plus b plus c. Well, in for a is going to go -1 plus b minus c, because that's what we said a was. So let's see, this is 11 equals -1 plus b minus c plus b plus c. I think we're going to be okay with this one because it looks like the c's are going to cancel. And I end up with 11 equals -1 plus 2b. Add the 1 over, I get 12 equals 2b, or b equals 6. Well, that's nice. Now I know what b is, and I know what a is. I can actually plug those into my second equation. Probably figure out what c is. So let's take purple. Purple is 7 equals 9 times a plus, and we already know what b is, we might as well plug it in. B is 6 plus c. And so this gets plugged in here. This is going in here. So this is -1, but I know what b is. It's 6, so plus 6 minus c. So, let's see. 7 equals 9 times 5 minus c plus 18 plus c. We're almost done. 7 is equal to 45 minus 9c plus 18 plus c. We're almost done. We're gonna have c in just a second. Oh, let's see. Clean things up on the right. So we get 7 is equal to 45 and 18. 45 and 20 would be 65. So this would be 63 minus 8c. Well, I'm going to bring the 8c over here because I hate having negatives. And I'll bring the 7 back. So I get 8c equals 56. So c looks like it's equal to 7. Now I just got to figure out what a is. Well, I just need this equation right here. Negative 1 plus b, which is 6, minus c, which is 7, is equal to a. So let's see. This is negative 1 plus 6 minus 7 equals a. A is equal to negative 2. Well, I'm almost done. I know what A, B, and C are. Come down over here off to the side and say A, B, and C are negative 2, 6, and 7. But my answer is y equals negative 2x squared plus 6x plus 7. All right, so I'm going to use, because this is quadratic formula, I'm just going to use the graph to test this one because it's a little bit easier. So negative 2x squared plus 6x plus 7. Graph, hit the table. And what do I need? I need 3 points. Negative 1, negative 1. There it is. I need 1, 11. There it is. And I need 3, 7. There it is. Bam. Done. All right. We'll be back. By we, I don't know who the other person is. It's just me and you. Ooh, that only took 6 minutes. We got 2 problems left, kids. 2 problems. All right. We got some big numbers on this one. Huge numbers. Okay. They're not that big. So it's negative 6 and 29. So in for y is going to go to 29, because that's the y value, is equal to a negative 6 squared. Ooh, that's going to be 36. So, man. B times negative 6 plus C. All right, let's clean that up. Let's get that first equation. So it's 29 equals 36A minus 6B plus C. So there's equation 1. Go to green. Everybody needs to go green. Got to go whatever. 4, 12. So in for y goes 12, and in for x goes negative 4. Now forget, you're not going into a, b, and c. It goes in for x. So it's a negative 4 squared plus b times negative 4 plus c. So this is 12 equals 16a minus 4b plus c. So exciting. Whatever. I don't like you. That person that said, no, it's not. It's boring. It's math. There's no way math's boring. It's like so exciting. All right, in for y goes negative 3. I'll make it more exciting for you. In for x goes 2. 2 squared plus b times 2 plus c equals negative 3 equals 4a plus 2b, or not to be. That is the question. Plus c. So we probably need to solve one of these for c, and it looks like the third equation is probably the easiest to work with. It really doesn't matter, but we're going to work with that one. I just don't like having the number on the right or on the left, so I'm going to change it all around. I'm going to go 4a plus 2b plus c equals -3. Now, these two things need to move over to the other side. When they go over, they get a sign change. So I know that c is equal to -4a minus 2b minus 3. So that's what c is equal to. All right, now we're plugging and chugging. Let's see, how about we use light blue? So now we use black, shows up better. So we're going to plug this c into this equation and into this equation and then clean them up. So let's use the blue equation first. Blue equation says 29 equals 36a minus 6. That should probably be a 6. 6b plus this mess. So let me put that in red. -4a minus 2b minus 3. Let's clean it up. I'll do it right here below. So this is 29 equals, how many a's? 32 a's minus 8 b's minus 3. And so this is, add the 3 over, I get 32 is equal to 32a minus 8b. All right, so there's my first equation. Hopefully it's right. I hate when I make mistakes. Let's go green. I just like saying that. 12 equals 16a minus 4b plus, and what did we come up with for c? Minus 4a minus 2b and minus 3. So 12, oops, I should be doing this in green now. 12 is equal to 12a minus 6b minus 3. Add the 3 over, I get 15 is equal to 12a minus 6b. All right, those are the two equations I'm going to use, but I'm just going to put the numbers on the right because I hate having the numbers on the left. I don't know, it's just my own thing. So 12a minus 6b equals 15, and 32a minus 8b equals 32. These numbers are so huge. I think I'm going to make my life easier. I'm just going to divide this one. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So this becomes 4a minus 2b equals 5. Just divided everything by 3. And the second one, I'm going to divide everything by 8. So I get 4a minus b equals 4. And I can do that. It just makes my life a little bit easier. It didn't need to, but I'm going to. So we're going to distribute. Now the second one, we're going to multiply through by -1. Because that would give me 4a and -4a. So in the first equation doesn't change. Second equation becomes -4a plus b equals -4. These cancel. So I end up with -b equals 1 or b equals -1. All right, I got b. Now I got to get a. So I'm going to use this first equation right here. 4a minus 2 times -1 equals 5. 4a plus 2 equals 5. 4a equals 3. And a equals 3/4. That does not seem right. I don't like fractions. Maybe it's right. We'll check at the end, won't we? We'll see. Now, we came up with what C is equal to, right? We know what C is equal to. C is equal to this. So we're going to rewrite that over here. Do it in black. C is equal to negative 4a minus 2b minus 3. So now we're going to sub those two things in. So C is equal to negative 4 times 3/4 minus 2 times negative 1 minus 3. So let's see, that's negative 3 plus 2 minus 3. Negative 1 minus 3, negative 4. So it appears as if I'm done, but I got nice numbers except for that 3/4, so I'm not sure if I'm right, but what my answer is A, B, and C, it's an ordered triple, is 3/4, negative 1, and negative 4. But I need to write it as a quadratic, so that's y equals 3/4 x squared minus x minus 1x minus 4. Remember, this goes in for A, this is B, and this is C. Now I'm going to check it. I'm going to check it using the quadratic method, or graphing method. So let's just quickly go through this. We'll doc B this. See a doc B. Graph. All right. So 3/4, 3 divided by 4x squared minus x minus 4. Minus x minus 4. There's my graph. I go to the table, Control T. I need to find 3 points. Let's go over here. The 3 points I needed to find were negative 6 and 29. So I got to go all the way up here to negative 6. There it is, negative 6, 29 right there. And then negative 4, 12. Negative 4, 12. And 2, negative 3. 2, negative 3. All 3 points are there. Yay! So even though we came up with 3/4, it's still a nice number. And we came up with the right answer. All right, one more problem to go. When I'm on the last problem of my unit, of the entire unit, other than review, I drink Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Do you? Seriously, that pure genius, pure genius. If Dunkin' Donuts doesn't call beating down my door saying, Mr. Krause, we need you. I don't know. Maybe their marketing department needs help. All right, kids, here we go. Last problem of the unit. Except for the review, which you're going to do tomorrow. But at least for now, we got the last problem of the unit ready to go. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. So our first point is 1, negative 4. By the way, at this time, really, I've done enough for you. You should be hitting the pause button, trying them on your own and seeing if you get the right answer. If you get the right answers, you can scrub all the way to the end, check it. If you get the right answer, you don't need to watch my ugly mug do this problem. You're good. If you did not, then you need to go find your mistakes. And yes, there's lots of small places you can make mistakes. By the way, if you end up with a number like 7.83444531274, it's probably wrong. So check your work, okay? So let's get going. Pause. Oh, it's so good to have you back. Thanks. I hope you did well. If you're back, I guess you made a small mistake. We'll find it. Maybe. All right. In for y goes negative 4. Maybe I'll make the same mistake. You never know. In for x goes 1. Not in for a, not in for b. In for x. Plus c. Let's clean this one up. Oh, by the way, when I do these, I love working in color. So if you got different colored pens, this is great. And I will make that suggestion to my students. A plus B plus C. Are you kidding me? That's an easy equation. All right, let's try the next one. Oh, it's so pretty to use colors. Did I say pretty? All right, give up your man card, Krause. I can say pretty. In for y, I almost said x. In for x goes negative 16. In for x goes negative 3. So this is negative 3 squared plus b times negative 3 plus c. Let's clean it up. Negative 16 is equal to, now negative 3 squared is 9, not negative 9, it is positive 9, minus 3b plus c. There's our second equation. Like, we're almost done with the problem. This is so exciting. Let's go green. Ha, said it again. 7, 14. So in for y goes 14. In for x goes 7. So that's 7 squared. That's ginormous. Plus b times 7 plus c. Clean it up. 14 is equal to 49a plus 7b plus c. Now in that last problem, I used that trick where I can divide through. And even though 7 goes into 14 and 7 goes into 49 and 7 goes into 7, it doesn't go into the 1 that's in front of the c. So you really can't do that one. It should be obvious. We're going to grab this green one or this red one, and we're going to solve this one for, who knows, one of the variables. I'll probably just solve it for a. Negative 4 is equal to a plus, actually, the easiest variable to solve for is c, because I'm going to plug it into c. So I'm just going to solve for c, because that way I don't have to worry about distributing and all the negatives. I just tag it on the end. I forgot about that. I forgot. I should have told you that. So we're just going to solve for c. So negative 4 minus a, because when the a goes over, it becomes negative. When the b goes over, it becomes negative. Minus b is equal to c. So this is c. So we're going to plug that in the other two equations. It now goes in for c here and in for c here. I don't know what just happened, but that's better. I like it big like that. Okay, so we're going to use the blue one. So the blue one is negative 16 equals 9a minus 3b, and then we're just going to tag in this c at the end. Minus 4 minus a minus b, because that's what c is. All right, let's clean it up. The 4 is going to come over here, so we're going to add 4. So that's negative 12 equals 8a minus 4b. Now, because they all have a 4 in common, I'm going to get rid of that 4. So I'm going to divide everything by 4. Divide the left side by 4 and the right side by 4. It just makes smaller numbers. Negative 3 is equal to 2a minus b. Same equation. Just makes things a little bit easier. What was that the next? We used green. So let's go green. So we go 14 is equal to 49a plus 7b. All right, now we're going to plug in c. Minus 4 minus a minus b. All right, again, this 4 is coming over, plus 4. So I get 18 is equal to 48a plus 6b. Now you'll notice, I think, that 6 goes into all of these. So even though this is my equation, I'm going to divide 6 into all of them. So I get 3 equals 8a plus b. It just makes my life a teeny tiny bit easier. Let's line them up on top of each other. I like the numbers on the right, so I'm going to go 2a minus b equals negative 3. And the other equation is 8a plus b equals negative 3. Well, the nice thing is I already have a pair of opposites here. They just go away. So I end up with 10a equals negative 6, or a equals excuse me. Just realized I made a mistake. I want to click that, correct that, excuse me. So this should be a 3, positive 3. So even though I still have a pair of opposites, I get 10a equals 0. Divide by 10, I get a equals 0. Well, that's weird. A is equal to 0? All right, let's plug it back into this equation and see what we get for b. So 3 is equal to 8 times 0 plus b. Well, that goes away. b is equal to 3. So now I have a is equal to 0 and b is equal to 3. I just need to find out what c is. And if I remember correctly, back up here, c was this. So -4 minus a minus b. So c is equal to -4 minus a minus b. So c is equal to -4 minus 0 minus 3. So c is equal to -7. All right. Well, now I know what my A, B's, and C's are. A, B, C is 0, 3, -7. Well, if I write my equation, now this is going to look funky, y equals 0x squared plus 3x minus 7. Okay, well, that's not a parabola. That's actually a line, 3x minus 7. I thought it was going to be a parabola. Let's check it. Well, what are we going to check? We can't check a parabola because it's not a parabola. We're going to check that line, and those 3 points better be on that line. So let's go. 3x minus 7. 3x minus 7. Enter. And I'm hoping those 3 points are on the table. Let's see. The first point was, oops, they're over there. What happened? All right. 1, -4. There it is right there. 1, -4. -3, 16. There it is. -3, 16. Now I got to go to 7, 14. 7, 14. There it is. They're done. That's it. This unit is bodied. Okay, that means done in you layman's terms. All right, we're done. We're done. Now we just have to review. Kids, you have to review. If you didn't understand one of the topics from this unit, please go back, study the video, get the notes, get a copy of the notes from your teacher, redo the notes, redo the videos, understand how to do the problems. Most of these problems you don't need the note sheets from your teacher. You can just copy down the problems and get going. There's a lot going on in this unit. That was 12 days long. That's a pretty long unit. I mean, it's going to be a pretty long test. So good luck, good studying. Make sure you do the review. And may the force be with you.